After LinkedIn introduced Agile and Scrum assessment test, it became an extremely popular tool to demonstrate your knowledge when applying for Scrum Master, Product Owner, or even Project Manager positions. It is very helpful when you're looking for a job as a project manager, as a lot of times they are expected to demonstrate the skills in the areas of Kanban, Agile, and Scrum. Welcome to online training for everyone. I'm about to show you how to pass Agile LinkedIn assessment test. I'll show you a real test that I undertook with real assessment test questions and answers, demos, and explanations. I'll also share with you some tips, tricks, and hacks on how to best prepare and pass the test. These questions are in no particular order, so make sure to watch the entire video to learn as much as possible before you take the test. Knowing answers to these questions helped a lot of people, and I'm pretty sure it will help you as well. I was doing answers to the test questions real time, and there's no feedback from LinkedIn on whether a particular answer is right or wrong. I did pass the test, but if you find a mistake in my answers, please post the correct answers to help others to succeed in the test. Take a moment and click the subscribe button at the bottom of the screen and make sure to like, share, comment, and ask me any questions you might have. I'm happy to answer every question I receive. And now, let's go ahead and get started. Let's look at the question 1. What does the definition of done mean? And there are 4 choices. The team has agreed on the criteria for story completion. The story meets the invest criteria. The team has completed all the work in the sprint backlog. The story has been handed off to the DevOps team. Which one do you think is right? Which one do you think is the right answer? Let's take a look. So the bottom 2 are definitely the wrong choices. It doesn't matter if team has completed all the work in the sprint backlog. This is not a definition of done. And then story handed off to DevOps teams, that's pretty unreasonable. So it's between the choices 1 and 2. And I'm not sure which one is correct here. So, by the way, I'm going to take a guess, right, and put my answer. I'm leaning toward number 2. Number 1 is also kind of, but it's pretty shaky. So let's look at what invest criteria is, the official definition, kind of refresh my memory. And there is a good article here. And invest stands for independent, negotiable, valuable, estimatable, small, and testable. So I would say that this is probably the one for definition of done. So let's pick this one and let's go to the next question. Why you might consider subscribing to this channel. This is one of the fastest way to learn and get prepared for Excel assessment test. Skills you learn are helpful today and in the future. You get answers to your questions. You have opportunity to help other people. And you have experienced professionals who already subscribe to this channel and ready to help you with any answers that you need. And now let's continue and get you ready for the test. Let's look at the question 2. What is the activity of clarifying and expanding user stories called? And we have 4 choices: backlog refinement, user story expansion, definition of done, and story point estimating. I'm pretty sure that this is backlog refinement, and this is what I'm going to pick. So let's pick backlog refinement and go to the next question. Now let's look at the question 3. Which factors should not be considered during sprint planning? And there are 4 choices: the team's velocity, the team's capacity, the stories that are ready, and then the number of stories in the product backlog. Which one do you think is right? Well, definitely team's velocity, team's capacities, and stories that are ready should be considered as part of sprint planning, because we don't want to do stories that are done. Team capacity is important, and team's velocity is extremely important for sprint planning. So it leaves us with the choice for the number of stories in the product backlog. And now when I'm thinking about it, it kind of makes sense. It doesn't matter how many stories we have. We just pick the most important ones, and we bring them in into our next sprint. So I'm going to pick number 4, and let's go to the next question. Can I ask you to do me a favor? If you like the content, please give this video a big thumbs up to tell us that you need more content like this. And now let's continue and get you ready for the test. Now let's look at the question number 4. What is the difference between a team's task board and a Kanban? And there are 4 choices. A Kanban has an explicit rule to limit WIP. A Kanban shows the backlog of work. A Kanban does not use a definition of done, and a Kanban shows the status of the work items. Now, I'm going to be honest with you here. I never worked with Kanban throughout my experience, so I do not know the answer to this question. But regardless, I'm still going to try to find what's the right choice. So let's do a couple Google queries to see what can be coming up. I know, though, that Kanban does show the status of work items. So let's look at the WIP and definition of done with Kanban. So here I found interesting information. WIP stands for work in progress. In Kanban, WIP limits represent the number of tasks being worked on by an individual or a team at any time. So it seems like this might be a valid choice. So, and that's probably what I'm going to select because I'm running out of time. Well, this answer is my best guess, but as I mentioned, I'm not sure 100% if this is the right choice. So if you think the right answer is different, please make sure to post it in the comments of this video so we will all learn and we know how to answer this question correctly. Thank you very much, and let's move on to the next question. So can you tell us how many questions did you answer correctly? Please post in the comments of this video to share with others. And now let's continue and get you ready for the test. Let's go to question 5. And question 5 is: a team member has been showing signs of great personal distress, crying at work, snapping at colleagues, having heated phone conversations. As team facilitator, what should you do? And there are 4 choices. Give the team member space and time to deal with their personal issues. Choice 2, ask the team member if they would like to talk about what might be going on with them personally. Choice C, notify the team member's manager of your observations and ask the manager for help. And choice 4, tell the others on the team that their teammate needs some emotional support. Long questions are a little bit tough always because you have to read through the question to better understand what's going on here. So I am trying to analyze the choices. So let's go through them one by one. Choice A is probably incorrect because it impacts everybody on the Scrum team. So you don't want just to give them space and time to deal with personal issues. So that's a wrong choice. That's not something that you would want to select. Choice B seems like the right one because it falls into 2 patterns. First pattern is that you would want to bring in personal issues one-on-one, kind of give person benefit of the doubt, but tell them that we notice that you are impacted, but it impacts us as well. So what are you going to be doing about this? So I think that's might be the right choice. Let's go through the choice C. Notify the team member's manager of your observations and ask manager for help. So this is an escalation option. I mean, this would be a good option if choice B didn't work. So you talk to them, you explain to them how it impacts everybody, but they just didn't do anything about this. Then you probably go to choice C. So I would say that this is not my first choice, at least for me. And then tell others on the team that their teammate needs some emotional support. It is good to do, maybe not so. I would say no, it's not good to do because you probably, it's a personal issues, right? Unless they observe it. You can discuss this, but it probably wouldn't lead to any results. So if you're a team facilitator, which probably refers to Scrum Master, maybe it's a licensed term, so they don't want to use Scrum Master here, but they use team facilitator instead of Scrum Master. I think I would go with choice B. So let's go with choice B. But if you guys think that there is a better way to answer this question, please post in comments. A lot of you are interested and asking me, how can I help others? One of the ways you can help other people is by sharing the latest questions that you see on Excel interview and assessment test and how you answered them. Please share the questions you recently encountered in the comments section of this video. If you know the answers, please share them as well. And now let's continue and get you ready for the test. So let's go to question 6. What is the name for the practice of going to see a process in use at the point of value delivery? That's the tough one for me. So I don't know, guys. I'm going to take a guess here. So, but let me research some of the choices to make an intelligent decision. Let's see, Kaizen. I did not use Kaizen before. So, and then let's just do Scrum. Kaizen, Scrum. Kaizen and Scrum. So Kaizen is a process for Toyota production system. I know Total Quality Management is a quality system. And then Six Sigma is a quality system. Let's see, Gemba Walk. And then Scrum. So let's see, Gemba Walk and Scrum. Gemba Walk for Scrum teams. So I'm not sure here. I am running out of time, so I am probably just going to select Total Quality Management and go with this. But that's another one of those questions. If you have an answer or you know what is the right choice, please, please, please post in the comments and tell everybody, and me including, what's the right answer is. Thank you very much. Now let's go to question 7. The product owner complains to you that the team is not working hard enough and they need to increase their velocity by at least 50%. Which action should you not take? Not take. You've got to love those negative questions. All right, 4 choices. Ask the PO to explain the business context to the team. Hold the value stream mapping workshop to identify and reduce waste. Share the feedback from the PO and challenge the team to increase their velocity. And then the last one, explain the impact of technical debt to the PO and the benefits of devoting some capacity to reducing it. So now let's think logically about this. Choice A, I don't think this is what you would do if your team is underperforming. Choice B, hold a value stream mapping workshop and identify how you can reduce waste. This is something you would do. Choice number C, share the feedback from the PO and challenge the team to increase their velocity. So I think that's something you would do as a Scrum Master. And the 4th one, explain the impact of technical debt to the PO and the benefits of devoting some capacity. So definitely choice C is also reducing technical debt helps to deliver other user stories much, much, much faster. So I think the right choice is A. And I have medium level of confidence in this question. So if you guys have better suggestions, welcome to chime in. Please do. But I'll go with choice A. I'd like to ask you to participate in our daily Excel assessment test challenge. I post new question every day in the community tab of this channel and give you an opportunity to answer this and try it. And I post the answer in the comments next day. So please make sure to check it out and test your knowledge. And now let's continue and get you ready for the test. Now let's go to question 7. The product owner complains to you that the team is not working hard enough and they need to increase their velocity by at least 50%. Which action should you not take? Not take. You've got to love those negative questions. All right, 4 choices. Ask the PO to explain the business context to the team. Hold the value stream mapping workshop to identify and reduce waste. Share the feedback from the PO and challenge the team to increase their velocity. And then the last one, explain the impact of technical debt to the PO and the benefits of devoting some capacity to reducing it. So now let's think logically about this. Choice A, I don't think this is what you would do if your team is underperforming. Choice B, hold a value stream mapping workshop and identify how you can reduce waste. This is something you would do. Choice number C, share the feedback from the PO and challenge the team to increase their velocity. So I think that's something you would do as a Scrum Master. And the 4th one, explain the impact of technical debt to the PO and the benefits of devoting some capacity. So definitely choice C is also reducing technical debt helps to deliver other user stories much, much, much faster. So I think the right choice is A. And I have medium level of confidence in this question. So if you guys have better suggestions, welcome to chime in. Please do. But I'll go with choice A. Let's go to the next question. The team complains that things have been falling through the cracks lately. What should you do? There are 4 choices. Ask the team's manager to make role assignments so the team can catch up. Meet with the team lead and product owner to try to identify what can be done. Choice number 3, conduct workshop to identify all of the things that need to be done and see who can help with each. And last one, refer to the team's RACI, responsible, accountable, consulted, informed assignments. This one I have relatively high level of confidence that this is RACI because as a Scrum Master, I had to do it a few times when team was underperforming. So I'm very familiar with the process. So let's go with the choice D, refer to the team's RACI. Can I ask you to do me a favor? If you know someone who is getting ready for interview or Excel assessment test, please share this video with them. This is going to help them pass and get their dream job. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And now let's continue and get you ready for the test. Let's look at the question 10. Which statement is true about Agile? And 4 choices as usual. Agile requires a high degree of upfront planning. Agile works best when there is no contract. Agile requires a high degree of discipline. And once the requirements are agreed to, the team can complete the work. So let's analyze these choices. Choice 1. High degree of upfront planning. So that's not true. That's the whole idea that you can use Agile because you don't need upfront planning. You can just plan as you go and make adjustments. Choice 2, Agile works best when there is no contract. There is a contract between team members and everybody has a different role and you have to stick to your role. So there is a contract in Agile. Agile requires high degree of discipline. That is true. That is true because you actually have to follow the methodology. You have to have certain roles. You have to have people in these roles, and everybody has to perform, and that requires a certain discipline. You have to have the demo meetings. You have to have daily stand-ups. So I would go with choice C, but let's look at the choice D just in case. Once the requirements are agreed to, the team can complete the work. No, I don't think so. We don't agree to the requirements. We actually do the work and then do refinements, we do adjustments. So I would go, it might be choice D a little bit here. I don't know what your thoughts are, guys. Please help me here in the comment section. But I'll go with choice C. Agile requires high degree of discipline. So I think that's the best one that fits here. So I'll go with choice C. Let's go to question 11. What is Scrum Master's role during a daily stand-up? 4 choices as usual. The Scrum Master should not attend. This meeting is for developers only. Stand outside the circle of developers and listen for impediments. Choice C. Ask each developer what they did since the last daily stand-up. And choice D. Congratulate the team on their great work. So keep in mind that this is a tricky question. And the trickiness of this question is that all these choices are kind of valid, but I worked as a Scrum Master, so I hope I'll pick the right one. Let's go one by one. Scrum Master should not attend, so that's not an option. Scrum Master is part of the meeting. Stand outside the circle and listen for impediments. Scrum Master actually does not participate in the meeting, believe it or not, and that is the right choice. But you see how it's worded? That's the choice I'm going to go with, and I have high level of confidence that that's the right one. So Scrum Master's role to identify impediments and then put them on the team's board and work on the impediments to resolve those impediments. Let's go with choice C and D just in case. Ask each developer what they did since the last daily stand-up. So this is the tricky one because it seems like this is what people are doing. This is what people are doing, right? They say, what did I do yesterday and what I'm planning to do today? What I accomplished yesterday and what I'm planning to do today. But the tricky part, Scrum Master doesn't ask any one of them. They kind of voluntarily, because this is the teams, that self-organizing team, that's the big part of Scrum. So it's not roles of Scrum Master to extract information from different team members. They volunteer information and they provide all of this information. So I think that's why this is the wrong choice. And then the last one, congratulate the team on their great work, but that's not the role of Scrum Master during the meeting. So it's not the only thing you do. I mean, you can congratulate, but that's not a main reason you are part of the meeting. So let's go with choice B, stand outside the circle of developers and listen for impediments. Now let's look at the question 12. Which technique does not, again, you gotta love those negative questions, so pay attention for this not. Which technique does not help prioritize the backlog? Moscow, WSJF, Kaizen, and Kano. So I know that Moscow, WSJF, and Kano are prioritizing techniques. Not sure about Kano though. So let's ask our friend Google, as always. So we look at how Kano model helps the agile product backlog prioritization. So I think Kano is also prioritizing technique, but Kaizen is the one of the methodology for lean improvement. So let's go with Kaizen because it's not the technique to prioritize the backlog. So, but if you guys think it's something else, if I got it wrong, I'm counting on you. I'm counting on you to post it in comments. All right, almost there. 3 more questions, 13, 14, and 15. So let's go to question 13. What is the definition of capacity? It is the maximum number of stories that will be allowed in a sprint. It is the number of teams that a team facilitator can support concurrently. It is an adjustment to velocity used in sprint planning to account for reduced availability of team members during the upcoming sprint. And it is an inventory of the team's knowledge and skills that is used to plan the work that they need to do. Let's look logically. So basically capacity is a representation of how much work team can do per sprint. So first answer is wrong. It's not number of stories. It's number of teams. It's not the number of teams, especially that Scrum Master can support concurrently. And as I mentioned, team facilitator is probably the term for Scrum Master that they use here. I think C is the right one because that's the weird definition. Basically, velocity is how much work that they can perform, but then capacity, if you remove all the time off, vacations, that's the actual capacity of what team can contribute during the sprint. So, and that's what the statement means. I mean, it's worded so tricky to design for us not to understand what it really means, but I hope I got it right. So, and again, if I didn't, I'm counting on you guys to correct me. And then the last one, it's not an inventory. So let's go with choice C, and hopefully we will get it right. A lot of people ask, how can I help on this channel? One of the best ways to help is to help other people answer the questions that they're getting. If you know the answer to the question that you see in comments, please post the answer in the comment section of this video. And now let's continue and get you ready for the test. Question 14, almost there, 2 more questions. In the scaled agile framework, what is the role of enablers? They support team building, they connect vision to mission so that the organization can be successful, they help extend the architectural runway, and they remove the impediments to quality. So I know this one because I did work in both roles as an architect on the Agile project and as a Scrum Master. So the correct answer is C. Let me explain why correct answer is C. So what are the enablers? Enablers is something that needs to be completed before you move on and before you actually can do a specific user story. So maybe you need to create, to buy a plugin to create e-commerce store. Or maybe another example, maybe you need to open firewall ports to make application accessible, something like this. So those would be enabler user stories, and they help architecturally enable other pieces of technology to make it work. So let's go with choice C and go to the last question. Last question, I'm so excited. Which statement describes the flow of work in the scaled agile framework? It's a push at the top and pull at the bottom. It's the pull system. It's neither push nor pull. It's the push system. So I think I knew this, but I wouldn't be able to find the answer. So it's a pretty wild guess, like a very low level of confidence. So let me explain my rationale. So push system, if I'm correct, and again, guys, if you know the answer better, please help me here. Push system is then when management pushes something on the team to do. And pull system in any agile is when team decides what they want to do. So it's not the first choice. It's neither push nor pull. It's a push system. So it's not management pushing. I would guess it's a pull system, and that's my rationale for this. So please chime in. I'm probably gonna fail, and then I'm not gonna post this video. But if I do pass, I am posting this video because I try to explain to the best of my knowledge everything I knew. So let's go ahead with the choice B and see what the results are. Oh my God, I passed. Can you believe it? I passed the test. Well, I guess maybe it's not so surprising. It just means that all these years of sleepless nights and hard work as a Scrum Master, as architect, and every other position in IT did pay off. So I'm going to proudly display it on my LinkedIn profile, this badge, and good luck to you guys. Like I said, some of the questions I had no clue, was just the best guess, but if you do have the answers, please share with us. I would love to learn what those answers are, and it will help everybody else. All the best on your test, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Hope you have learned something and had fun at the same time. Please make sure to check out my other relevant videos. I know they helped a lot of people, and I'm pretty sure they will help you as well. Please consider premium resources from our ebook store at howtoanalyzedata.net. It has tons of resources to help you get ready for the interview and assessment test. Also, please make sure to check out for relevant downloads in the description of this video. If you find a mistake in my recommendations, please do not judge us too harshly, as we are only trying to help, but mistakes are unavoidable. Please post the correct answer in the comment section of this video to help people succeed in the test. Take a moment and click the subscribe button at the bottom of the screen, and make sure to like, share, comment, and ask me any questions. I am happy to answer every question I receive. All the best on your interview and assessment test.